I woke up today, this morning and said, our work over the 19 years has not been in vain. It's just not been in vain.
An emotional day for members of a crime-fighting organization here in Indianapolis. Vice President Mike Pence returned to Indiana to raise awareness and money for the group. For nearly 20 years, the 10 Point Coalition has walked Indianapolis' streets to reduce crime, a model that's already being implemented across the state.
Yeah, and with today's vice presidential visit, it's about to take off even more so. Indiana Statehouse Bureau Chief Nick Natario explains how.
Boy, what a day. You get the vice president to come out and help out. How uplifting is that going to be for this organization? This is a grassroots effort. Vice President Pence says works miracles every day. But for 10 Point Coalition members, they feel like they're the ones in the clouds after a wild few days. Years of hitting some of the most dangerous pavement has paid off.
This has been a week. I was telling my wife, I said, we've been doing this for 20 years. We have never had a week like this.
A whirlwind week after Reverend Charles Harrison's group, 10 Point Coalition, learned it would receive $500,000 from the state. And on Friday, it didn't stop there. Vice President Mike Pence was the keynote speaker at the group's annual luncheon.
I'm just here today as a fellow Hoosier to pay a debt of gratitude to all of you.
An organization he knows well. 13 months ago, Pence donned the group's signature bright neon yellow vest.
As we walked those streets, we heard stories. We heard stories from families of sorrow and resolve. We heard of stories of redemption and second chances. We saw firsthand really the power of love and faith.
The 10 Point Coalition tackles crime by walking streets, hosting job fairs, and connecting with young people. It started in Indy, but is now heading to other Indiana cities and going to more.
We're going to Evansville, we're going to East Chicago, we're going back to Fort Wayne.
The luncheon helped the group raise a lot of money. Tables in here went as high as $25,000 apiece, and during the luncheon, and use these envelopes to contribute even more to the cause. Between state grants and this luncheon, the group is ready to hit the ground running. A crazy few days, nearly 20 years in the making. How do you top this week?
I don't know if we can. But we're certainly going to try.
I have no doubt about that. The expansion isn't just tied to Indiana. Reverend Harrison is talking to officials in Nashville and Cleveland. This, of course, Dave and Phil, comes after the motto was implemented in Louisville a few months ago.
What did the crowd think of Vice President Pence's speech?
It was really interesting. At first it was a home run. The VP really talked about Indiana, talked about the group. Then it kind of veered into this political kind of stump speech and kind of lost the crowd. It felt a little awkward at times, really. But at first, they certainly loved it.
Yeah, and certainly he helped them raise the money.
Right.
So where do they go from here?
Well, we know that they're going to do this regional spread, but the vice president was in town. That could be a little hint of things to come. At 6, we're going to tell you how this may not just be regional. Cities across the country could be seeing what started in Indianapolis go all over the place. Pretty incredible.
Good stuff. Nick, thank you. We'll see you at 6 o'clock. Vice President Mike Pence also unveiling his official portrait today. The unveiling took place at the Statehouse. Portrait is always painted of each Indiana governor. It's a tradition that dates back to 1869. The Indiana governor's portrait collection now contains 54 paintings. Pence served as governor from 2013 to 2017. The portrait was painted by local artist Mark Dillon.